Just a quick message before the review starts. Yes, I am British. Yes, I'm on the internet. And no, I'm not Yahtzee. And yes, I have a cold. Now enjoy the review. Hello, this is Zed from VideoGames.com bringing you our first ever video review, The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks on Nintendo DS. As you can see, I'm using footage from the gameplay trailers and stuff, because there's no affordable, feasible way of capturing DS gameplay that isn't completely and utterly illegal. Which sucks. Okay, first things first. If you don't like touchscreen controls, then you want to point your cursor at the search bar of your favourite web browser and go and do something else. Because you're not going to like Spirit Tracks. Yes, this game, just like its predecessor Phantom Hourglass, is controlled entirely using the stylus and touchscreen. Some people hate this. But then some people also think Twilight is a shining example of literature, so I've stopped listening to some people. For those of you still here, the story of Spirit Tracks goes something like this. Link is an engineer of trains. He goes to graduate, or get his award, or something. And then some stuff happens, and evil turns up, and then Zelda's disembodied and the world's about to end and you've got to go and fix it. And that's as much of the plot as you need to know. The presentation is very nice for a DS game. It's probably not going to win any awards, but you can see what's going on, and that's really all you need from graphics anyway. The music's good, it's Zelda music, and Zelda's always had good music, and this is no exception. In fact, in many ways, Spirit Tracks is a typical Zelda game. There are dungeons, there's an overworld, you do some side quests, you talk to people, blah blah blah, so on and so forth until you've saved the world. It's all very by the book. But when the book itself is titled How to Do Awesome Action Adventure Games, it's not like that's exactly a bad thing. There isn't much in the way of innovation, other than some items that utilise the DS's built-in mic, and this whole Zelda is no longer a useless bint trapped in a castle thing. Yes, as I'm sure you're aware, you can now take direct control of Princess Zelda, as she inhabits the vacant body of a phantom, and it works pretty much to perfection. The puzzles that have been designed with this new mechanic in mind are all very clever, and the whole thing works quite nicely. But then Zelda's always been a series of simple innovations and or gimmicks, depending on how you see things, that are utilised as well as can be expected. Basically, if there's a new gameplay idea, Zelda will usually be the game that shows you how it should be done. And that's pretty much what's going on here. Then, there's the train. Now, when this was announced, the entire internet exploded in a fit of mockery and Thomas the Tank Engine parodies of varying hilarity. The key question is, does it work? If, by that question, you mean does it get you from point A to point B in a more involved and far less boring way than the boat did in Phantom Hourglass, then yes, it does. You need to keep your eyes open the whole time for various danger and stuff you can shoot at. If, however, you mean does it have multi-track drifting and is it modelled on the F40PH, then no, it isn't, and it won't replace your standard Railtrack Simulator 2009, you sad, scary, socially awkward anorak-wearing shut-in. But Zed, I hear you ask, what about all the problems that made Phantom Hourglass such a horrible, horrible game? Well, first of all, fuck you. Phantom Hourglass really wasn't that bad a game. Secondly, you can now roll by double-tapping the screen instead of trying to play Spirograph with a stylus. You don't have to repeat bits of the central dungeon that you've already done, and like I said, travel is no longer as interesting as listening to your granddad tell you why you're a pansy for doing art at university, rather than losing your leg in a war like he did. In short, everything that was wrong with Phantom Hourglass has been fixed. If I had to criticise this game, and believe me, that is a very hard thing for me to do, I'd probably whinge about the difficulty level, that seems to range from puzzle that makes you scratch your head for 5 minutes to something you'd give your aforementioned granddad to do because it'll shut him up for 5 minutes before he beats it and tells you why you shouldn't trust the Japanese. If you've played any other Zelda game before, ever, and if you haven't, there's something wrong with you, you won't have too much difficulty with this one. Having said that, it's really not a bad length for a handheld game, and there's a lot of optional content to keep yourself busy, including catching rabbits, which is a lot more fun than it sounds. Also, there's apparently some multiplayer or something, although why it doesn't use Nintendo Wi-Fi connection is beyond me, but there you go. Basically, this is Zelda on a handheld, in much the same way as Phantom Hourglass was Zelda on a handheld, and Minish Cap was Zelda on a handheld. Except that this one is a lot better than those, which makes it even better. If you like action-adventure games, or Zelda, or trains, or just good games, then you really need to go out and buy this. Right now. Go. I'll wait. I'll still be here when you get back. Seriously. Go for it. Go buy it now. Why are you still sat there watching this video? Go and buy this game. I don't like giving scores to things, but I understand that in today's society of kids with ADHD, everything has to have a bottom line. So, I'll give Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks 4 sexual innuendos about finally being able to take control of Princess Zelda out of 5 badly photoshopped pictures of Link riding Thomas the Tank Engine. This has been Zed for VideoGames.com.